This is Audible.
Simon & Schuster Audio presents How to Keep House While Drowning. A Gentle Approach to Cleaning and Organizing by Casey Davis. Read by the author.
How to listen to this book. This book has been designed for maximum accessibility for those who are neurodivergent. Paragraphs and chapters are short, and main points are emphasized to account for both attention and comprehension needs, and literal interpretations are offered of any metaphors used for clarity. I have written this book to be comprehensive without being too long or intimidating. However, if you feel you do not have the capacity to listen to the whole audiobook right now, please follow my shortcut journey through the book. Introduction. In February 2020, I had my second baby. Having struggled with postpartum anxiety in a previous pregnancy, and knowing that my husband's new job was going to have him working 7 days a week, I set up a comprehensive postpartum support plan for myself. My toddler would go to preschool 4 days a week. Family would rotate in every week for the first 2 months. A cleaning service would come in once a month, and the new moms group I had helped form would drop off food and stop by to offer a hand. I was so proud of my plan, and it ended before it even began. 3 weeks after I gave birth, COVID lockdowns were announced, and the entire thing collapsed overnight. The world got very small, very fast. Days rolled into each other in a sleepless strand of breastfeeding difficulties, toddler meltdowns, and soon, depression. Numb and overwhelmed by the isolation, I watched my house crumble around me. I tried every day to figure out how to take care of both babies' needs at once, and I went to bed every night, haunted by my failure. As I lay in bed, I dared to think things that I was too frightened to say out loud. What if I've made a huge mistake? Maybe I'm only capable of being a good mom to one kid. Maybe I'm not cut out for caring for two. I don't understand how anyone does this. I am failing them. One day my sister began sending me funny TikTok videos. You have to get on this video app. I feel like it would cheer you up to laugh. I relented and even got the courage one day to make a post of my own. A video making light of the house-turned disaster we had been living in. To the background of a viral audio that sang about all the shit that wasn't going to get done that day, I showed shots of my messy living room, my overflowing sink, and the enchilada pan I had left to fend for itself for 3 days. No pipe dreams here, I quipped in the description, tacking on the hashtag breastfeeding. Surely, from the annals of the internet, moms everywhere would rally to chuckle in solidarity at how hard it is to have a newborn baby. Instead, I got this comment. Lazy. There it was. The word that had haunted me for so much of my life. As I was a messy and creative woman with undiagnosed ADHD, that word held a deep and cutting power. Like a snake, I felt the voice that visited me nightly crawl up my throat, wrap its body around my neck, and hiss into my ear. See? I told you you were failing. My professional experience as a therapist had shown me time and time again that being overwhelmed is not a personal failure. But as most of you know, the gulf between what we know in our minds and what we feel in our hearts is often an insurmountable distance. In that moment, I couldn't help but absorb that lie that my inability to keep a clean home was direct evidence of my deep character failing of laziness. In reality, this could not be further from the truth. I'd birthed a baby with no pain medication, after meticulous research and planning. I'd pumped breast milk every 3 hours to get her through her NICU stay, and continued to wake 6 times a night to breastfeed after bringing her home. I got up every day, despite the postpartum depression, to care for my newborn and my toddler all day long. I even managed to make homemade enchiladas. And I did all